Hello, it's me. Boom. There we go. Let's see. Bring up the stream monitor. My tea is ready. What horrible timing. Alright. I'll be right back. I'm gonna pour myself. Well, I don't know actually. I have a kettle. And so what I do is I heat up the water. I don't know if this is weird or not. Drop a tea bag in there. Well, I don't actually drop it in, I hang it off the top. And then I reboil it. And it's one of those fancy ones that does like an auto shut off. Once, I guess the boiling water triggers some sort of sensor, I guess. I don't really know how it works. I don't really care either. There's some sort of like wiggle sensor inside of it, I think. Maybe. So I'm thinking it probably works. Well, no, I was going to say similar to my rice cooker, but no, my rice cooker does not work like that. I'm pretty sure the rice cooker works off of like relative weights. So like how much water has boiled off or something like that. So I've noticed that when cooking brown rice, it takes a lot longer to cook because I'm assuming because of the outer husk on the brown rice. It does a thing. Or brown rice holds its water better. Something like that. Alright. Oh, don't look at any of these. You can see that I googled WebSphere. Because I was in a meeting and they were trying to install IBM WebSphere on an OpenShift cluster. Alright, let me see. What was I googling? GitHub. Hello, Demuriel. Hello, hello. So what's the plan for today? I don't really know, actually. What should I be doing? So this is what I have. The effect is super toned down, by the way. Look at that. Wow. So it barely moves. That's fine. Boot right into here. I think the plan is going to be props. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So props are the last thing that is, well, the last big thing that's still missing. And that's something that I haven't really thought about how to implement, which is like 100% a horrible idea. But here we are. Oh, and you know what? I shouldn't make any changes either. Hold on. Git status, git pull. So there have been a few changes. Oh, there's just the one change. Neat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we can delete all of these, or not delete, but we can close all of these. This is the same level of satisfaction as closing a bunch of browser tabs after finding the solution to something. So model config. All right, so here we have the model configuration. It's pretty gross. This can actually be taken out as well because this is no longer relevant. All right, now instanced props. This needs to change probably. You think props have a higher priority than selecting key bindable blend shape activation? Personally, props is more nice to have for me. Yeah, but it's like OpenSea Face GD. This one never had blend shape activation either. And I think props are nice to have. I don't know. Well, like props encompasses more than just like custom props. I'm not going to do it. For example, in the current build of VTuber, you are not able to edit the default light. So you might notice that the duck does look like it's lit up a little bit, and that's because it is. And if we look into the scene, you can see that I have, I did not name it, but there is a camera, which is 112, and then 113 is the light. So what I used to be able to do, or what people used to be able to do, is you can edit, oh, you can't see it on this model actually. Never mind, hold on. We load in an anime model. Wow, okay. So you load in an anime model. So the duck is unlit, but it's still lit. I'm not sure how it works actually. But you can change the lighting. That's not important actually, but you can change the light intensity as well. So just in case your model looks overexposed. So I guess for me, this duck looks overexposed. You can change the light intensity. There was a suggestion at some point to make like a little draggable bar, but I just never got around to it. But you can change the light intensity so it's, you know, a little darker. Or you can turn up the intensity for whatever reason. So this is actually how it looks right now, I'm pretty sure. Right? So this is like, this feeds into the kind of base level stuff, right? So also let's use blend shapes to activate special things about our models, props, textures, color changing, and faces. This is more important to me than anything else. All right, I'll tell you what. I think that does make sense. It almost feels to me like a more oh, that's pretty weird as well. I'm mulling it over and rotating my jaw. And this causes the the entire head to wiggle back and forth. But I don't know, like I feel like this is also pretty important though. The ability to fine tune and tweak how things are rendered and stuff. I don't know. That's just me. That's mostly because I don't have any models that have any fancy stuff on them. Because I always go off of the reference model. This isn't the reference model, but it's pretty close to a reference model. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm doing this stuff first. So let's see. So I guess we can hold off on props, but I think main light and also editing the world environment is important. Right. So ambient light color. I actually don't know what this does, but there is light and there is ambient light, and it could have an effect on your model. Yeah. It's fine you don't do it first, but please consider eventually. Yeah. The things that don't come by defaults are always kind of lower priority for me. But now I'm just trying to think, what do I do with these? I suppose main light is more of a prop. But what the heck is the world environment? I can still expose the world environment, but that's something that you're not allowed to delete because it doesn't make any sense to delete it. Although Godot does provide a default world environment, I suppose. Well, that's not true. The lack of a world environment is provided and is handled. Let me think. Where do I want to put this anyways? I do have a pop-ups. I still need to rethink this folder structure as well. I'm not a huge fan of it. To be able to place point lights and stuff. Yeah. I'm just thinking about how you would even point lights. That's I don't really have any functionality for that either, but I'll think about it. Because it's almost like you would need to do a kind of like a free camera thing, so you can kind of like pull out from this kind of portrait view. So you can place props in the background or place point lights so they can point at specific places at your model. Because right now there's just a light right behind the camera that's pointing at the model. And of course the camera is invisible, right? All right, my tea is ready, I think. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I also forgot to switch to my AFK scene. When you do props, you'll eventually need to add the ability to move stuff in 3D functions. We could always just use values. So how this works, so the same functionality for posing your model, I repurposed it for props. So, I mean, that was the plan. And then told myself I would go back to it at some point. But here we are. All right, what am I thinking here? Why does this one look so different? That's because it should be like this. Oh no, okay. Let me think. So what should the UI for props look like? Because this is just a kind of a random placeholder. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. For like really specific placing of props, that could be difficult. And for point lights, that's also fairly difficult. That's why I just want to make a UI for adjusting the built-ins right now, and then I'll have the ability to add custom props at some point. Technically, it's already possible to add custom props to your scene by using the debug console. So you just need to run a few Godot functions, which is like, hold on, get tree, root, get child, not get node, get child 1, I think. Hold on. Criddle. Yeah, there you go. VRM. Yeah. So your node, and then this is your scene. I do need to. You know what? This has been annoying me. I need to go back, give all of these names instead of using the default generated name, because at runtime these aren't actually assigned names. In the editor they're assigned names, or if you run it, I don't know. Usually they're given names. I don't know why they're not given names here. But I need to explicitly give these names so it's easier to do stuff. But you can load in random stuff. So you can do like var sprite is equal to, can't type today, sprite new, store var, call it sprite, right? That's your variable. Then sprite dot texture is equal to load. Res only works in debug builds, but it's good enough. OSFGD icon. It's copy path, sure. Probably fine, yeah. Okay, then, okay, the hard part. Get tree, get child. So that's 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, 0, get child, 0. Just gonna make sure that's the viewport, so that's the correct one. Sorry, I switched up my keyboard again. So my layout's all kind of messed up. Add child, sprite. Where is it? I know you exist. Oh, no, it's a sprite 2D. It needs to be a sprite 3D. I messed up. All right, well, ignore that. A sprite 2D only renders in the 2D viewport, but there is no 2D viewport. So it just kind of exists in the scene tree, which is kind of interesting, actually. Anyways, that is how you would add a node. And that's the same logic I would use for adding props as well, except in code, I would actually have a real handle on the objects. But let me see. In the runner, default runner. Oh, good. Default runner doesn't actually have a text scene associated with it. I remember now. It's because default runner doesn't have a text scene associated with it because I need to be able to pass in a... Or, yeah, I need to pass in args. Yeah, that's why. Or it's possible to pass in args. So if it's a text scene, you cannot pass in args, which is very unfortunate. Which is also a very common beginner question I see all the time. Because it's a very common pattern in like a regular programming language to pass in constructor args, but the recommended way to do Godot stuff is to use these, a text scene, so you can visually lay out stuff, but in exchange for that, you don't get to pass in constructor args. So preset of, there's our viewport. So we can store several of these. So this is the camera. This is the world. Okay. So we need all of these. I'm thinking. We do need to pull settings from the configuration as well. Because right now I'm just using the defaults. But then where do I give these to? Or who do I give these to? Or actually, these should probably just be stored here, yeah, on the thing. So let me open up default runner, that's good. Give this a save, default runner, default runner. So we're looking at views, okay. So there's inputs, tracking options, that's fine. These, I think this is okay. We can remove this comment so no one freaks out. Props node, there is no such thing as a props node. I think I'm gonna get rid of that as well. There's no reason to have a props node. But instead, we can have, oh geez. So there's the main light, or yeah, there is the main light. It's you are not really allowed to delete it, but you can just pretend it doesn't exist by turning down the light intensity all the way. There's the main camera. I'm not sure how you would have, actually, yeah, you could add multiple cameras, I suppose. So instead of having different presets, because you are allowed to switch cameras at runtime, of course. And then there's the main world. This one I'm a lot less solid on, but it should probably be fine. Yeah, model, viewport, world. Okay, so we have all of these. These are accessed on the runner. Okay. So, Nope. Is this not the... Oh, no. Okay, give me 1 sec. Happy hacking keyboard. I may or may not have a happy hacking keyboard. So this is backspace, insert. I don't like that. Change the key map. Function, insert, delete. Well, you know what? That's probably fine. Insert. I never use insert though. Yeah, well, we'll keep the default. Just so that the keycaps also stay correct. Light, some sort of directional light. So this should be main light. Main light, model viewport. Main light. Camera should be changed to... Oh, geez. Main camera. So you are not allowed... Ooh, my God. I can't type. And then this is main world. Oh my God. This is bad. I just gotta get the muscle memory back. I used to be used to these keyboards. Not anymore though. Something that's kind of difficult about it is that it uses a old Macintosh layout for the arrow keys. So it's not my usual like Vim style arrow keys. It's the open square brackets, colon, parentheses, /, and then also on WASD for my other hand when you press function. Okay. I think that's probably good enough. Nothing should have broken there. So then we'll go back to, we are still in props. How do I want the layout to look? So when you are working with props, these aren't really props. These are more of, what are these? What would you call these? Because these are provided by default, right? So there's, the camera is what is allowing you to look at the scene. The world is what gives, I don't know, lighting adjustments and atmospheric adjustments, etc. And like, what am I missing? And the light is the light. Otherwise, this would be completely unlit. Those are not props. Props can wait. These are, what are these called? What are these called? I'm racking my brain. What would you call main light camera world? It's not really a scene. That terminology is very specific to Godot. Because technically this is, the entire thing is a scene, right? Each node is a text scene, haha. Or each packed resource like this is a text scene. Or you can have it stored as a binary scene. So I'm not gonna call it scene because that would be very confusing. Although, like a set, like a movie set, but set is not a great descriptor. What's a thesaurus.com, thesaurus.com, what's a, okay, what's a synonym for stage? Maybe is stage a good one? I don't know. I need I need movie set. Like movie set is great. Stage setting, yes. Setting, no. Scenery, no. Maybe. Stage set. Mise and scene, that's also pretty good. I don't know, I'm gonna call it stage. I think stage is okay. Yeah, we'll call it stage. Makes sense to me. And then we'll have basically the three things, right? So how do I want it to look? So for following how I used to do things, it would look something like box, and then all your possible elements are just listed here one by one. Something like that. Because that's the easiest way. And then after that, you just kind of build each screen as needed. I guess that makes sense. Because I already have the code for that as well. All right, well, props, you can wait. Model. Actually, bring back model. I'm going to copy the layout from that. So model, well, not directly, of course. So this is going to be H split container, full rect, tree. We'll just grab a general for now. One of my favorite features is this, the ability to copy and paste. This is one of the few times where I prefer using the visual editor. So we'll call this stage. And then general, probably not. Or maybe, no. Call this info. Scroll container, that's fine. Doesn't have anything in it though. VBox container, just, is there a way to do this? Oh no. Well, that's close enough. Delete all of these. There we go. Give this a save, stage.text scene. GUI, this is a pop-up, unfortunately. I'm still thinking about that. Stage GD, and then this is, bring me back. So model config, nope. Model, that's it. And then stage GD. Base tree layout. Okay. All right, so I think in this runner trait, have a new function called getStage. Yeah, getStage, and then this gives you a key value pair of all the things that are technically on stage. So let's add a comment before I forget. Gets all built-in prop items. Generally refers to the camera, world, and light. Camera, world, light, and anything else provided by the runner by default. Something like that. Of, this is a string to some sort of node. A map of variable name to node. Okay, yeah. Makes sense to me. So runner trait, by default it's empty, doesn't do anything, so that needs to be filled out. So default runner, go down to here, get stage, needs to have the same function signature, can't type still. All right. Something that is completely necessary on pretty much any keyboard for me nowadays is really easy access to the home and end keys. So like on a 10 keyless keyboard, I can't do it anymore. If I want to press home or end, I need to actually move my hand away from the regular keyboard to press home and end. Whereas on this happy hacking keyboard, it's all available in a different layer. How nice. Okay, so get stage. So this is. What if we just do this? I don't even need to build it, right? We can just do. Although this does make it fairly fragile. But there's also not really a great way of tagging these either. Yeah. So there's main camera, main light. And then main world. And then since these are all references, it doesn't matter. Okay. Syntax highlighting is all kinds of messed up here though. All right, so stage here on init, we don't want to do anything. We should be using setup. Setup needs to return a result, which is the custom thing. And I believe I can just return super function dot setup. One of the weird differences from Python that GDScript has is that instead of doing super, you just do dot, which is garbage. I hate that. Luckily that was changed in Godot 4. Okay. So for any of these UI views, we can guarantee that the current scene will already be set up. So we can do get tree current scene. So that's guaranteed to be correct. Get stage. Get stage items is probably way more correct. That's fine. Oh, right. Can't type hint there. Because Godot gets confused when you go too many layers deep, aka 2. All right, so there's your stage. You get your stage. And then for each item, then I need to generate a thingy. So we'll go to bones. Bones is actually a lot better for this, because the entire bone page is also generated, what's the word? Dynamically, yeah. Can't really talk today, huh? So initial page is equal to info. This is hard-coded, but that's fine. Info. Yeah. So let's show that. Look at that. We're not going to show any of the tree because that's pre-configured. Or that's not pre-configured, but it's configured by the script, which is a base tree layout. Let me think. So now what are we doing here? Now that we have all the items in the stage, we can do for key or for item name in stage.keys. Something like that. We can replace this as well. Doesn't make a huge difference. Do one of these not work how I think they work? It's front and back. And then this is page down, page up. Okay. What a bizarre layout. But it kind of grows on you if you can ever get used to it, which I totally could. It's just hard going back to a laptop after that. Okay. All my muscle memory is killing me. But that's the same with Vim, right? So here we create a new tree item. So I'm going to look here. How do I do that? That was supplied here. I wrote a thingy. Yeah, build tree. Builds the entire tree, but I don't need to do that. Find tree item, sure. Wait for parent, set tree. Set tree is called by default in setup. Oh, so I don't need to create anything, yeah. I just need to add the pages and then they should set themselves up correctly. Actually, this one doesn't set itself up correctly. Hey. Do you prefer Vim over Nano? I don't really use Nano. So I don't really have an opinion. I definitely prefer Vim over Emacs. Like, I've never used a system that didn't have at least VI on it. Nano, I kind of understand. I just don't use it that often. It always freaks me out when I get dropped into Nano, though. Oh, what the heck is this? Who configured the editor on this machine to use Nano by default? Because it has to be configured on most of the machines I work on, right? Because all the machines I work on are either RHEL 7 or RHEL 8 machines that use... Well, actually, I think RHEL actually uses Nano by default, doesn't it? I don't remember. So I suppose it's the opposite. Someone went into all these machines and changed the default to VI. By the way, I'm thinking. We could do this. Almost certainly need to do this. Bring me back. Give me model again. I need to look at this. So why am I not using base tree layout? So in setup, I do set tree, hide root. Yep, create item. Create item gives you. Hey. That's your tree item, huh? And then build tree. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember. Because I don't need to hold on to root because I just do it all in build tree. That's right. Yeah, okay. I can use the defaults here. Yeah. Bones is different. Any UI field that has nested tree items. So model doesn't have nested tree items. Bones does. And then I believe presets is a bit special, although does presets use the default? I need to go back and check. And the only way to know if it uses the default is to look at the setup function. Okay, so presets does not use the default. Does tracking use the default? Tracking also does not use the default. Okay. I'm trying to remember why. Because base tree layout just goes through, builds the tree like this. So from all the pages inside of it, on item selected. Maybe I should go back. I think Bones is special, right? Because we do need to build the entire tree hierarchy, whereas everything else is just flat, straight list. All right, let's just do straight list for now. So for item name and get tree, so all of these should be scroll containers. So scroll container is equal to scroll container new scroll container. All right, so what are we doing with this scroll container? First of all, we need to do, I don't know why I'm so frazzled today. Presets page. There's something I need to do here. Yeah, control util. This is also why I am just horrible at... This is why I'm horrible at programming challenges. So I always forget how to do certain things. Or I did rely heavily on looking at existing code. And then from there I can rearrange everything. Otherwise I just kind of dump my entire brain after I'm done programming. Okay, well. Span fill, and then we need to put a VBox inside of it. So var VBox is equal to VBox container new This one should be control util all expand fill a box add child. Okay. So that's our VBox. Then what items do we have? Oh, this is completely untenable actually. What the heck? Actually, no, it's not, because then we have the value, right? We have the value. So var some sort of node. We don't know. Oh no. Well, yeah, we could do. Yeah, we can cast this to a node and then we can check afterwards to get the specific type. So this is, I guess I should have done var stage is equal to current scene get stage. So then this is stage. This one will be equal to stage item name, which will give you the node, and then afterwards then we can just check. Although unfortunately Godot does not have a great way of determining the type of something without just a bunch of if-else statements. So if node is some sort of light, if it inherits from light, do a thing. If node is camera, do a thing. If node is world, do a thing. Oh, world is not a node. All right, well, hooray for duck typing. So this is actually some sort of object, unfortunately. Or we'll just call it item, right? Right. World is a resource, not a node. But a light does not, lights do not extend resources. Lights extend from node, and node extends directly from the base object. All right, and then else. So this last else is, I don't know. Just assume it's some sort of spatial. Assume this is a spatial. That doesn't feel right. Let's add it to do. To do this seems like this could be improved. Logger error. Unhandled stage item. And then we'll just string whatever the heck we're looking at here. And then continue. Yeah. Go to the next item. So if item is light, if item is camera, if it's a world. I don't think there's any other kind of defaults, I guess. I suppose there's like a mesh instance, or maybe just like a regular spatial. If it's a regular spatial, I suppose. Well, no. Yeah, this is the correct order, yeah. Item is spatial. So let's add a to do to this one as well. To do. I don't know. Let's not hand spatials it. Let's keep it simple. I know what I need. I know what I need. I know what I want. Is this. So light. If it's a light, we'll need to construct a certain type of page for that, and we can wrap that. So this is light page. So this will take some sort of light. What light am I using here? I'm using a directional light, right? Yeah, I'm using a directional light. So what are the specific differences between all of them. Directional light. So there's a directional shadow mode, boring, omni lights, omni range, spotlight. But I don't want to, well, these are all just like ranges and attenuations, right? But then the basic light has everything else. That's fine. We can just assume it's a light. So light, and then this gives you back a pretty much this, right? Create page container. Scroll. Grab all of this. Oh. Because these are all the items. Maybe what we can do is, instead of doing this, we'll just pass in the VBox. There's your lights. Doesn't do anything. This will just work entirely by reference. So void pass. Yeah, okay, and then we'll just do roughly the same for all of them. So camera page gives you a VBox for you to start attaching nodes to. And the last one is world page. Anything else currently unhandled, but there's not too many things unless you add more than one thing per page, or like many lights, etc., etc. But the differences there are pretty minuscule, I think. Although having this entire like really big surface to add stuff to, like, I think as Oro said in the Discord, it does make sense. Like, it's kind of weird to have a, you know, pretty much nothing here, right? But I also, like, you could break it out, but then you just have a ton of menu items. Or you could combine them as well, but then there's the same problem, right? Then there's too many items in the tree view, right? Then it's too hard to find things, which is this app's current problem, at least for this stuff. Maybe I went too far in the other direction. Let me see. What am I creating? So lights have. Let me open up the Godot docs light vertical screen so you can see what I'm looking at. So light bake mode. What are the bake modes? Indirect. It defaults to indirect. Only indirect lighting will be baked. That's true. Okay. Okay. Light color, light coal mask. Oh, geez. It's probably fine. Oh boy. Oh, and then for the light color is the only, well, light color and shadow color, those are the hardest ones. The coal mask, I don't need. Light energy, all these other things are tough though. Well, not tough, but annoying, shall we say. So color doesn't have a built-in connector for it, but there is a color picker built in, so light color picker, just some sort of color picker. New. This will be fun. Light energy. This should be a few things. This is light energy hbox, which is an hbox container. Light energy label. How does he come up with these? And then light energy text edit. Okay. Yeah. It's very manual, but there's also no other way to get these values. So I suppose what I could do is iterate over every single property using reflection and then just try to pick out these various light related properties, but then that's such a pain. And then if they add something, something unexpected, then everything could break, but that's whatever. I think trying to go off of variable names and not even like the exact variable name, just like the prepended part, like light or shadow, etc. That's not a great idea, at least in my opinion. Energy hbox is equal to hbox container. Direct energy label light indirect text edit. Light negative, that one's a lot easier. Hopefully. Because I can just look at model. So yeah, okay. So I just made these a check button. Okay. Okay. Light size, light specular. Okay. Halfway there. Light size. Oh, these all need hboxes though. Happy Booba Day. Boba Day. Is it Boba Day and or Booba Day today? Can never have too many O's. Bunny Day? Is it Bunny Day? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to all the days besides like St. Patrick's Day. So I can avoid getting physically assaulted when I go outside. I guess. Anyways, how are you? Nokia neck, how are you? How are you? Don't mind me, I'm just trying to get used to this new keyboard, where it's not really new to me, but I haven't used it in a bit, and my hands have completely forgotten all the muscle memory I've built up over the, not years, maybe like months of using it. So now I'm just hitting all types of keys at a very slow rate. And it's not helping that I'm really bad at spelling light for whatever reason. And hbox container as well. So this is the label. Notice that I typed this wrong. Did you pay your taxes? It's kind of a very specific question. But yes, I did pay my taxes. And I had to actually pay additional taxes. How fun. Although that should be a good thing, I suppose. Like, I don't get a tax refund, at least in the... Yeah, I'm based out of the US, but I don't get a tax refund because I actually make too much money. What a weird problem to have. Well, it's not that I make too much money, but I make too much undeclared money, unfortunately. Or at least it's basically like on a contract basis, I make too much money. Which means I take home too much because the contracts don't do any withholding. So it's one of those things I just need to be very careful when I'm spending money, just so I don't spend too much and end up going into debt just to pay my taxes afterwards. But yeah, is there like a tax thing going on, or is that just like a random question? I've never been audited, if that's what you were trying to build the question towards. Color. Random. It's a very strange choice of random question though. Taxes? Question mark. Taxes are probably the least glamorous of the random topics. You could be like, I don't know, what's your favorite animal? And I would respond, chinchilla. Probably maybe like some sort of duck. That's also a very good one. Oh, there's no chinchilla on screen. Okay. I don't know why I had in my head that there are a bunch of chinchillas as stream avatars. Oh, I'm also not a duck. What am I doing? See, I'm not even here. Ugh, my brain is somewhere else right now. I'm so distracted. Shadow contact label. It's probably me having to put in more brain cycles, more thinking cycles into typing, which is freaking me out. Porque la and no Taco Bell. What? Why is the in not Taco Bell? Eh? Or no Taco Bell? Not sure that was a correct statement. I think I had Taco Bell like a month ago though. Taco Bell, pretty good. Big fan, big fan. Surprisingly healthy as well. You know, I've always kind of thought, or I thought for a while, before I got out of university, that Taco Bell was bad for you. But actually, compared to other fast food chains, Taco Bell's not so bad. You know, a decent amount of vegetables. Like, a lot of it's just, like, ground meat. Ground meat. Not really sugary buns, you know. They don't really sell fries. Actually, well, Taco Bell sells fries sometimes. Their fries aren't very good, though. I don't know why they hype them up. Yeah, Taco Bell not horrible for you, surprisingly enough. I was reading some sort of expose. It was like, out of all the big fast food chains, like Arby's, actually not good for you. Turns out roast beef or sandwiches on a burger bun, still not very good for you. About as bad as like a regular hamburger, right? But like a taco, not too bad, not too bad. So this needs to be, oh, this doesn't need to be an HBox at all anyways. What am I doing? Shadow enabled toggle. Say check. I didn't even know that. I like Taco Bell because it tastes good. They're pretty healthy by comparison. Yes, yes. Veggies and meat fairly healthy. Yeah, fairly healthy, and then the buns are not horrible for you because there are no buns on a taco. How fancy, how fancy. I think that they're only associated with being unhealthy because they're renowned for being a stoner food. But I mean, that's fine. Whatever. What the heck is param? Enumerations, get param, set param. Is this what I should be using? What the heck? I've never used this. The heck? I've never seen this before. That's because I don't usually tweak lights very often. I do get their very spicy sauce and enjoy it. Yeah, well, Taco Bell's very spicy sauce, or whatever the hottest one is. Is it the one in the black packet? It's not actually that spicy. You know, actually, I bought it's like a Polynesian sauce. If you've ever been to Chick-fil-A, it's just like a fancy sweet and sour sauce. It's not Chick-fil-A brand though. It was like a Polynesian sauce mixed with habanero peppers, and let me tell you, it was horrible. Extremely gross. I still forced myself to use it though, because I was like, I paid like $10 for this. I'm going to use it. Stoned food's healthy too, so when I'm high, I don't really like eating big foods and burgers and fries. You know, I'm the exact opposite. Even when I'm not stoned, I don't usually get stoned too often. For all the police out there, it's been a while. But even if I'm not high, I like eating garbage plates. Although I suppose, like, aren't garbage plates only from Rochester? But it's the, you know, the equivalent. Fries, and then whatever else you just want to throw on top. It's just really bad for you. I like eating that kind of stuff, because I'm a absolute degenerate. Alright, so to do, need to hook this up properly. Okay, and then on model, we do hook everything up properly. Yeah. So, and then these are all hooked up to, configuration values. So this should be like light energy HBox, add child, light energy label, light energy HBox. Yeah, I mean, like, stoner food in general has a bad reputation, but I get where you're coming from. And like Taco Bell had a bad reputation because of that, but I think it's mostly because, like, when you're high, you just want to like stuff as much food as possible down your face, or in your face and down your throat. It's probably more accurate. Okay, the toggle should be fine. I do need to go into base tree layouts and then look at the connecting bits of base layout. So connect elements kind of multicasts out. It uses Godot's, the fact that you can use reflection, you can abuse reflection like this, which is really nice. Or alternatively, really bad. So connect text edit, yeah, okay. So I'll need to re-implement. Connect check button. Line edit, and that's pretty much all I have, right? These are all either line edits or check buttons. And then also a connect color thingy-majig. Connect color picker. Okay. Connect element. Energy text edit. And then what do I pass in here? So this is usually set to the signal, or is the signal name as a string. So it maps back 1-to-1 with the config value. I suppose that's fine, right? Light energy. Or call it main light energy, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Call it light energy. And then I'll just need to make sure to handle these a bit better. So these need to be stored probably under stage, not like standalone by themselves, or like standalone as separate values. Or I could always break them out like this. Look at all the values. This is gonna be a lot of fun to hook up. Can't type. Energy, light, indirect energy, sorry. Man, I'm gonna be honest, I'm finding it extremely hard to think right now. I don't know why. I'm going to get more tea and also pour myself a drink. That might be it. I'm not intoxicated. We'll be right back. Have returned. I'm gonna switch back to the duck. Maybe that was killing my mojo. I'm almost out of liquor as well. I'm very sad. Alright, duck. There we go. Alright. Keep this here. So I knock it over. And burn myself. This scalding hot tea. Connect element light. Can't type still. Still can't type. Negative toggle. Light negative. Connect element. So that's your light color. Boo. I think I'm just gonna shut up and focus on typing, as opposed to trying to speak and type at the same time. Brain is not as multi-threaded as it usually is. No, that's not how this works. Usually I'm a lot better at this because I'm really just retyping whatever's on the page. So it requires no brain power at all from me. That's not the case today. I don't know why I'm so out of it. Child. Did I miss one? Light specular, and then it would just go straight to shadow bias? Okay. You know shadow bias? That's a great name. It's very edgy, I like it. It's like a goth band. Shadow bias. You know, the more I say it, the more I'm like, you know what? It kind of rolls off the tongue as well. Shadow bias? Yeah. I like it. I don't know why. I said it once and I was like, huh. I'll say it again. Good name, good name. Or imagine, I don't know, like if you play a game called Shadow Bias. That might be kind of cool. Sounds like a stealth game though. I don't really play stealth games. I'm not very good at stealth games. I have a tendency to freak out. Well, when I get caught, I have a tendency to freak out, which is not dissimilar to real life, where I'm... Well, I don't freak out, but like if I go into something with a plan, I'm very, very confident until I mess up, and then after that, I just throw away the entire plan. Not intentionally, but that's just, you know thine own self be true, something like that. I can't even think of the quote right now. To thine own self be true, yes. I know myself. It's happened enough times where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I guess I am just the kind of person who's, if you ever derail me at any point, and I didn't plan for the derailment, guess what? We're about to do everything just completely off the cuff, unfortunately. Which is like the, you know, for example, the classic story, well, of me doing a gig for like some charity event, and you know, it was going well, and then just forgot the lyrics for one of the songs, and then dropped the F-bomb into the mic. And then after that, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. The longest 5 seconds of my entire life. I've never been that scared before. And since. Or it's not scared, but it's like lost with a sense of like, it's like getting separate. When you're a kid, you get separated from your parents. If your parents ever took you grocery shopping, and if you ever like got separated from them, it's almost like that again. But instead of being in danger of being kidnapped by child predators, you're instead in danger of just ruining your entire social reputation. Good times. Good times. And I still always get, whenever I hear this song on the radio, because it was a popular song. I think it was called, yeah, Stitches by Shawn Mendes. Yeah. I always like flash back to that, like, kind of like, you know, that truly butt puckering events. What a great time. apologize as well for that. Possibly vivid imagery. Camera, really? There's no camera? Classes, class camera. It's called a camera, right? It's not called camera 3D yet. It's only called camera 3D. Camera.html. Yeah, okay, fine. Fair enough. All right, and oh, there's one more thing I have to do here. It doesn't show up here, but here I need to do I need the control util and then h expand fill, and then actually a lot of these need to h expand fill. Oh, good. Control h expand fill. Hooray! A typing stream. Actually, all of the all of these need to h expand fill. All right. Because if you want them to take out the same amount of space, they all need to fill as well. Otherwise, it'll just push the other elements out of the way. Which, you know, makes sense, but also... I think this is where, in Godot 4, it introduces the idea of a callable. Very similar to how Python does it. I think that might help here. I have poked at porting this to Godot 4. And it's actually not too bad, I think. Especially since I'm not doing too many like super complicated stuff. Like most of this stuff is pretty basic. It's just that the way that everything is hooked up is less than basic. And the entire use case is also not the intended use case, really, for Godot. So they don't solve for me, they solve for indie game devs. Or possibly like big game devs. Like I know, was it Sonic Colors? Whatever the last console release of Sonic was. On the Switch they used Godot and then rebranded it as their own engine and then did not include the MIT license in it, which caused a little kerfuffle. But I think also the the Switch version was also very, very buggy. So you know how that goes. Like, do you want to be credited as the engine for a console quality game? And it was a console game as well, like console quality and console port game, but it was also a buggy mess. You know, maybe hard to say. Can't type. We're almost done. And then we just need to do the other ones. I think this is also why I didn't expose every single option in OpenCFace GD, is because, I mean, this is essentially what needed to be done. Like, I suppose you could always automate it, but then, you know, you run into the problem where you may or may not be spending more time trying to automate something that could, you know, just spend 20 minutes typing it out, or you could spend 3 days trying to automate that one process. So, I mean, that's also the same reason why this works, or why we have this. It's because, like, is it gross? Yeah, but like it needs to be done somewhere. We could try to automate it, but then there's too many exceptions, right? Almost same for this. Something about this set param and get param thing, though, that's rubbing me the wrong way. Because I feel like I should be using that, but I'm not sure how I would even expose that. Or maybe not all of these are, oh no. Hold on, let me think. So this is, oh yeah, see this doesn't expose like color. Okay, that's fair. But this does expose every single float value. Okay, yeah, you know what? It's fine. It's good enough. All right, so these are all added and should be fine. So if it's light, we'll do light page, pass in the VBox, and then pass in the item as well. So that should just work, question mark. Stage, so we go to default GUI. I believe default GUI is actually a node. Yeah, default GUI is actually a node. But then I don't have any menus here. Okay, so we need to load in stage. Oh, hello, Rathmox, how are you? I'm sorry, you're not seeing me at my best. My brain is somewhat off at the moment. Fine, and you? I'm doing all right. As I was saying, brain is not firing on all cylinders today. Not sure why. All right, it's possibly because I didn't start the. I haven't reached the Balmer peak yet, like I usually do on most streams. So 3 in my home. Oh, I got bad news for you. It's almost 2041 here. I use 24-hour time because I'm an absolute degenerate that takes naps during the day. So AM and PM kind of freaks me out because I read the numbers and I'm like, oh no, it's 7. Is it 7 in the morning or is it 7 p.m.? 7 at night. Now I just need to think like, okay, is it 19 or is it 7? I use 24-hour too, knowing I'm French. One of the European languages I don't really know. It's like I don't know how to pronounce or speak any Nordic languages, and I also don't know any French. But I suppose I'll. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Rathmox. So this is what I've been working on, by the way. Look at this. Ooh. It's the splash screen that allows me to load in all the extensions. I understand how it's hard to learn this language. Yeah, it's the contractions, but English also has a lot of contractions, so I don't hold it against you. But also it's like the just pronunciation kind of freaks me out. But yeah, so this is the tracker. This looks very similar to this because I also wrote OpenCFace GD. This is Virtual Puppet Project, free and open source. The alpha's out. I'm working on putting in the rest of the features if you're into that. So the next thing on the list is re-implementing this thing so you can adjust the light color. So I can't demonstrate the light color with this model, but with an anime model, aka a VRM model. Hold on. This model always spawns in super broken though, I don't know why. I think it has something to do with like the default hair position is kind of broken. Hello. Hello, Ash. Hello. But yeah. By the way, Ash, what I'm working on is I'm working on oh, this is the environment. Don't change that. Re-implementing this light stuff so you can fine-tune various things. You can, right now the light intensity is at 1. So whenever you load in an anime model here, it's at about this brightness, but it's always nice to be able to configure stuff. So you're streaming, working on this. I want to use OpenCFace GD next time. Oh, nice. This is the successor project, so keep an eye on this. Has a lot of niceties, etc. Check this out, Ash. Ooh. How does this look? Ash did the splash screen here. I can actually show this off like this. Check this out. I also implemented this thing. I don't remember what the flag is called though. What did I call the flag to pass? I called it stay on splash. Stay on splash. Look at this. So how does this look? I did not make the graphic though. So I'm trying to get their opinion. It's good, subtle. Yeah, it's a lot more subtle for sure. And then the button here just pops up this page here. So usually it only takes 4 seconds, but I can also pause it by passing a command line flag when I'm executing it. I'm gonna use your apps because I'm a Linux user. I'm also, well, I work for a big Linux company. So we use Linux at work. I'm very familiar with RHEL. I guess since you're French, no, I was gonna say you probably use Suze or Suzy. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Suze is German, not French. Yeah, this is how it looks. Boom. Move on to the next. But generally, it fades in and then fades out. And then you can always click to skip past it as well. Okay. Well, if I have Ash's seal of approval, I'm just going to leave it like that. Use Arch. There's Magi, which is French. Oh, I've also heard of Magi. I've seen that name around. I never know how to pronounce it, so I just say Magia. Although it makes me think of the Twitchers and Madge. Sag, Madge. Coal mask, no. Current, I suppose. Yeah, we can expose currents there. Looks good. Yeah. Yeah, if you want your name or Twitter handle on there as well, just let me know. I suppose if I can add it as a button if you just give me the graphic, or I can just the font is going to be switched at some point to add support for translations, so for other stuff. What was it? Other glyphs. Yeah. So I can supply the graphic, you can supply the graphic, it doesn't matter. If you want your name on that anyways. If you don't, that's also cool. So this is current. This will be a check button. But you have come to the wrong stream though. Control util. I'm not entirely here. Brain is moving very slowly right now. Alright, so current. I don't know what Doppler tracking is. What is Doppler tracking? I've never used that. Doppler tracking. Oh, it's a Doppler effect. Okay, so when like it's for sounds, but this program doesn't generate any sounds, so that's fine. So I have my dopamine seeing myself as contributor. Yeah. That's also my favorite part. You have your name attached to a big project. Also, I noticed when I clicked on the GitHub button here, look at this. 300 stars, oh baby. Look at that. I'm officially at the point where recruiters will stop asking me about my credentials. You want credentials? This is my credential. Take that, you ignorant sack of shit. God, I hate interacting with recruiters. Or AKA headhunters, as they're sometimes known. If I'm bitter, it's because I am. I've had way too many bad experiences with recruiters. And they always want me to take a programming test, even though, like, I don't know. I've been programming professionally for 5 years now, 6 years now. I was like, yeah, I assure you. The fact that I have not been fired from any company is should speak for itself, really. so far. But no, you gotta do the aptitude test. You need to go through like 6 screening rounds. Like the last company I interviewed for, they had me go through 4 screening rounds, which is just ridiculous. I have no idea why. And then after that, when I accepted the offer, they were telling me like, yeah, we've had like a lot of problems like hiring people. I'm like, oh, yeah, really? You're telling me. You know, had to go through 4 screens, and then I also had to do like a project. And let me tell you, I actually did not knock that project out of the park. It was not great. I actually failed like half their test cases. The only saving grace for me when I was doing their like coding test was the fact that they asked me to either do it in Rust or do it in Python, and I was like, you know, I know both Rust and Python. What if I do it in both? And they're like, yeah, that'd be cool, but we're really only looking for you to do it in one language. And I was like, you know what? I know me, and if I know me, I know that if I'm going up against like people who are actually really good at programming, I'm probably gonna fail. Because honestly, I'm not that great at programming. Like, I'm better than your average bear, but my greatest strength is more that I'm you know, I have a breadth of knowledge. I know a lot. And I know more than surface knowledge on a lot of things, but if you're looking for an expert, I'm not that I'm not the guy you want. You know, I know how to find information really well. You know, I've seen a lot of things. Worked on a lot of systems, but if you want someone who can just bang stuff out, no problem, in a night, you've got, or like in an hour, I've got bad news for you. Like even this entire like VTuber project, it's been very eye-opening, right? Like I've never really had the chance to architect my own application before at work, if only because I'm, you know, I'm not an architect, not a software architect. I'm just like a guy. I'm a senior consultant, which is really just a fancy name for person who is very used to dealing with people's BS. And has been able to keep it up for, you know, 5 years. I did do 1 year as like an actual software developer, but that was my first year ever working. And I was like, yeah, this kind of sucks. Not a huge fan. It's still too hot. FOV, HBox. Connect element. All right, I'm still thinking about how to do this though. Right, because this is how everything else is hooked up. So, for example, this looks bad, but it's actually pretty good. Even though it looks horrible, just trust me, it's good. But some of these are a little harder to work around, if you can believe that. But yeah, pure software engineering, kind of boring and very annoying as well. Work hours, not great, although I will admit I've been out of the game for a while. You know what to do? Add the rest of the properties. So most of these properties don't really make sense to add, if that makes sense, right? Coal mask, I have no way of exposing that. It's, you know, it's an integer. I don't know what to do. Or it's not just an integer. It's an integer that's made up. It's a bit mask, right? So I don't really know how to expose a bit mask well. I know how to implement one, but I don't think it's even relevant. Currents is good. Doppler tracking, not applicable. Environment, not applicable. Far, FOV. Far is, I think far is used for displaying, oh no, we can just look at it. Distance to the far culling boundary. Yeah, it's the culling boundary. FOV is what, you know, defaults to 70. I usually turn this up to about 85 in most games, but I think for, actually this application also has FOV at 90, I think, or is it 80? But I think having a smaller FOV for, you know, VTuber stuff actually makes more sense, because the higher your FOV gets, the more you kind of get that fisheye effect where things get more round the farther away they are from the center of the screen. So if I were to turn the FOV of this up to say 100, if I were to move the model or just kind of like wiggle over to the side, you know, it would kind of stretch you out into a circle, like the opposite of a black hole, right? Is that how black holes work? The singularity. Not really sure. I'm a business major. The only thing that I'm really, really good at is talking. Just talk enough, keep talking, and nobody gets hurt. AKA, you avoid bringing more work onto yourself than is explicitly necessary. Oh no. So this is a, hold on, what did I do here? Oh, this is the default env. Yeah, so I'm just using the default env, and I've modified the default env to be not garbage. Okay, so I need to expose this stuff. So this is the environment, world environment. So we'll grab that. Actually, why did I even pass these in? I guess I didn't need to pass those in. Yeah. Like I said, brain is not firing on all cylinders today. And oh my god. There's so many things. But at least this is a resource, so I can filter out stuff if need be. So let me open up another Godot project. I'll just open up my test projects. Something got corrupted with my Godot installation, so I lost most of my, I guess, things like this, but it's fine. Save safely. There's Ruby. I don't think I'm using, yeah, I'm not using the build of Godot that has a Ruby interpreter embedded into it. And by the way, the Ruby interpreter actually builds on all platforms. I was very surprised. I was able to link it pretty much everywhere. Yeah. Like on Mac M1, totally works. My Pop! OS 2020 or 2204 installation, totally works. Windows, of course, works. How nice. All right, so let's do print, I'm thinking, environment, new, get property list, yes. I forgot. Okay, so wait, JSON, print JSON. Oh, good. So I forgot. You need to do backslash tab, so you get a nice JSON formatted string. Then we'll look here. No, no, you don't want to look at environment. You want to look at resource. Sorry, and I need to look at all the resource properties and then filter those out. So that is reference, resource, resource twice. Resource local to scene, resource path, resource name, and scripts. Okay, that's not bad. So I'm gonna keep that up. I'm gonna move this to my top screen, so you can't see it. Something completely unrelated to what I've been working on, right? Which is adding more features, or adding features that are used to exist but don't exist in the rewrites. Is eye tracking, actually, or eye tracking to your screen. So you might notice you know, you have these little guys here, but you have this mouse ripple effect as well that only really shows up when I'm doing in single screen mode. So what I was thinking was, see, this is something I was puzzling out like in my downtime. It's like, what if, like, I have eye tracking on this model, right? And usually if you want to get like fancy eye tracking, you need to get like a, you know, a fancy bit of hardware, and it does like some biometric stuff, right? And then you get the real eye tracking stuff, eye tracking functionality. Whereas this is just my mouse. But what if anyone is like young enough to remember the old Smarts whiteboards, right? You always had to like calibrate them. So like click on this corner, click on this corner, click on this corner, click on this corner, you know? What if using OpenCFace and the same techniques that I'm using for this, right? You could be like, move your head, like center your head here, and then like, okay, move your head forward, move your head back, left, right, and then, you know, from each of those positions, like just calibrate the camera. All right, so like from the sensor position, look at the top left corner, right corner, bottom left, bottom right. From the forward position, you know, left, right, down, you know, something like that. And I was like, oh, you know what? I think that could totally work, right? Because I have the ability to cache your position in the real world, or I guess in the real world relative to your webcam, right? So then I could like I could kind of zero your position and, you know, offset it, etc., so that as long as you don't move out of this little self-imposed arbitrary box, I could map, you know, your actual eye gaze to your screen, right? I mean, it would take a little while to set up, of course, but the tea is still too hot. I did not add ice to it. Yeah. Anyways, that's what that's next on the list, even though it has no benefit to this application whatsoever. And I was, you know, this could be fun. It could be fun. That's my favorite part about programming, though, is like, oh, ignore properties. It's already here. I didn't need to look at this. Okay, well, say goodbye. Scratch. This is something that not enough programmers have. It's just like a weird Scratch file to test out weird ideas. Don't know why. So I always see them ask like, okay, like what happens if you do this? It's like, have you tried? It's like, no. Could you try? Yes. All right. So you should try it. Like, almost certainly your computer is not going to explode if you make a mistake while programming. Like, you need to work at it if you want to make your computer explode. You should not add ice to it, but it's so hot. It's so hot. And I have like a fancy mug that retains heat. Like for my birthday last year, my parents got me like a fancy Yeti mug and Yeti thermos. I don't use the thermos at all, but the mug I use all the time. And it's really nice most of the time, but for when the drink is just way too hot, like this tea, I wish it would cool off, but it's not going to. Like it doesn't even have the top on it. Like it's a mug, but it comes with a top. Ugh. I don't know why I keep drinking it though. I suppose if I didn't want to put ice in it, I could just put it in the fridge, but that's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. For prop in world dot get property list, if prop name in globals, what is it called, ignored properties, I'll just continue. Otherwise, we can start generating. Yeah, maybe this is what I should be doing for the other ones, except I should just have a text list of all the things, and then I can, you know what? I just wasted so much time. That is so much better. That's why I'm telling you. Brain is not working right now. Puts tea in a heat retaining mug. Also, why is tea? Hey, you know, the machinations of man are unknown to even themselves. I'm pretty much just running on autopilot. That's pretty much it. Like, you know what? Honestly, I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it here. I cannot think right now. I don't know why. I'm so unfocused. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll be live tomorrow, working on this again. I don't know. Something's up with me right now. Head's not in the game. But you can find the repository here, VPupper Virtual Puppet Project. It is currently in alpha right now for the 9.0 release, or 0.90 release, 0.90. So, I mean, it totally works. Currently only has the OpenSea face tracker implemented, but works with, you know, regular duck models. Is load in. Actually, I have it as a preset. Works with VRM models. I'm intentionally starting and stopping the tracker manually just so it doesn't explode on stream. Works with these. Eyes aren't as interpolated as they should be, but, you know, is not so bad. Is not so bad. Have the wiggle. It's actually tracking a lot faster, or it feels like it's tracking a lot faster than this one is, even though this is tracking at 24 FPS. Not really sure what's going on with that. But yeah. There's a Discord if you want to stay updated on, I guess, if you want real-time updates. I already posted the GitHub there. Give the channel a follow if you haven't already. I stream Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Wednesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's find someone to raid. I have another screen on to my right, by the way, which is why I'm looking over here. Let me see who's doing stuff. Let's raid Doohoo, because they're still streaming. Yeah, I think they just started streaming, so let's send it. They're doing Godot 4 stuff. How fun. Let's raid Doohoo. They're also a VTuber if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah. What is it? That was the entire spiel, right? I think that was the entire spiel. All right. Get sense. Doohoo. You. Ooh. Goodbye.